Kate? Hello?
Good morning, Jennifer.
I was wondering if you got a confession out of the man you were interviewing yesterday.
Yes, I did.
Did he implicate anyone else?
2 people, new names. They weren't on the system. It'll be in the report.
Good. We'll get word out and have them brought in. Was it difficult?
The confession?
Yes.
Really found it terrifying. It tells the story of what could happen in England in 10 years when any person who says things against the government is put behind bars, or even worse, sent to stage 3 where they are exiled forever from society. And I just love the ominous music and black and white lighting and the very sterile costumes that the 2 women are wearing, and I love the contrast between the woman with a heart and the woman who's the new upstart who has no mercy. It is an excellent film, and the ending is a real twist. Terrifying film, but well done.
Overall, I mean, I really enjoyed the aesthetic, and I think they executed really well here. It definitely fits the tone of the movie, of the story that's being told here, and they play with it a bit too, using these sort of offset compositions, filling with light. They just, really find a way to keep it interesting because there's not a lot of movement going on. So they achieve that with the story and visually as well. Definitely worth checking out.
The most striking aspects of it are the, the lighting and like the camera placement. I felt like it was a very kind of, I don't know if it's called neo-noir, but like a new noir style with like more like colorful gels on the lights to very like dynamic lighting just all over the faces, shooting through the blinds, shooting through, what are those, like cookies or whatever they're called. I really liked it. I felt like the story was carried well by these 2 actresses. Like they had a lot of heavy lifting to do because it's just the 2 of them pretty much, and I felt like the director did a great job at kind of having this adversarial dynamic, and it's very contrasty, just like the lighting. So it was everything felt married.
I think it was a cool way to show a moral struggle in a dystopic future. Although I was confused by the rules that govern the world, I was really curious to know more about what things were set in place, how did they affect people, and then did the people who were interviewed investigated actually know what was happening. So it was really interesting.
So I thought it was a good mix of having the feel of an old school questionable interrogation that you would see in maybe a Bond movie or something like that, but pairing that with not only some good technology inserts that made it easily identifiable as futuristic, but then also with the iPad and that kind of technology. I also loved that it was 2 females as the boss and the interrogator, because at least in current society, you don't always see women in such intense roles, or in those jobs, not necessarily in the roles themselves.
I am amazed by how we have this room to imagine dire, dark, ominous, and awful futuristic ideas. This was sad and so feasible that it is quite scary. I think it only takes a few law-abiding or law enforcement authorities to cross lines, and then there's no way back from there. It was great scenery, lighting, performances. It was amazing.
Such an intense and great short story. I really, really loved it. I know the main characters, I became really interested in their relationship because they had such an intense work relationship. I wanted to know more about it. It was also very deep how everyone is referred to as a number, and I think it shows a lot about our actual system, how when people are criminalized, they are like stripped of their identity and like given a number. It's also powerful when she says, "Give me a name, not a number." Like I thought that line really stood out to me. Also, the irony of referring to someone as a number, yet she was asking for everyone else's names, and it's just crazy because like she gets their names at first, but then like eventually they will also turn into numbers. So yeah, I just thought like that psychological thing was like really strong and really powerful. So yeah, I really enjoyed this film.
Echoes of other dystopian societies like Brave New World or 1984 even, and it does a really good job of hiding its twist until the last possible moment. But what I loved was the attention to detail in the acting, because there is one hint early on that so I love that there was that subtle hint there, but you had to be paying attention to see it, rather than something that just feels thrown in, as a twist without any lead up at all to it. I thought the twist was very well placed and implemented, and how it progressed onto it was really well done. And we see the cracks in the system starting, as they often do in these dystopian societies. We see people starting to question their place in it all and what kind of impact they're really having. And that's always really resonating, because it makes us reflect on our own participation in government, local and federal, and in our everyday lives. Are we making the contributions that we can go to bed at night soundly with?